Hello and welcome back to my 1902 farmhouse craft room. My name is Alicia with Country Mama Musings, and today we're going to work on this beautiful block 43, the puff stitch, for our heirloom Afghan crochet along. So grab your supplies and let's get started. So we're going to be starting block 43, the puff stitch, with color B, whatever you've determined to be color B. For me, that is gray. We're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot and placing that onto our size H crochet hook. We're going to chain 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24, 25, and 26. Let's move on to row 1. For row 1, we're going to half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So not counting the loop on our hook, count over 1, 2, 3. We're going to place a half double crochet right there in that chain. So yarn over into that chain, grabbing our yarn and pulling it back through. We have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, completing that half double crochet. We're going to half double crochet in each chain across. So going here to our next chain, inserting our hook and completing a half double crochet. That's 2 in our next chain. There's 3. We want to have 25 half double crochet when we get to the end of our chain. I'll meet up with you there. We're here at the end of row 1. We've got just a couple more half double crochets to work into. Don't forget the one here at the end. And there we go. Now, even though I counted these, you get distracted, something happens, you lose count. You always want to see where you're at on your first row to make sure your count's not off. You don't want to have to take out your entire second row. So let's count our half double crochets. We're going to count the chains that we skipped at the beginning here as a half double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. We're right where we want to be. So getting our hook back onto our work here, let's move on to row 2. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. This chain 3 is going to count as our first half double crochet of the row plus a chain 1. And that's going to be true for the rest of our pattern. We're going to skip the next half double crochet, not this first one, because this first one right here is connected to this half double crochet here. We're going to skip the next half double crochet and we're going to go right here and we're going to half double crochet in that stitch. And we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next half double crochet, going to the next, placing a half double crochet in it, chain 1. We're going to continue this down our row. Skip 1, place a half double crochet in the next. Chain 1. Skip, go to your next stitch, place a half double crochet, and chain 1. Skip the next stitch, go to the next stitch after that, place a half double crochet, and chain 1. Just continue this all the way down to the end of our row. We're here to the end of our row and we have a stitch here. And don't forget that these chains that we skipped in the beginning, that counts as a half double crochet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to half double crochet in the top of those chains that we skipped, completing our very last half double crochet of row 2. Let's take a look at row 2. We should have 12 chain spaces with our half double crochets in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So row number 2 is right where we need it to be. Let's move on to row number 3. Hey, are you enjoying putting together all of the beautiful heirloom sampler blocks for our heirloom Afghan crochet along? If so, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, check out the playlist that has all of the videos for every block for our crochet along, and be sure to share the video with your friends that like to crochet. Okay, let's get back to our project for this week. For row number 3, we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. Now we're going to add some puff stitches in here. This is the fun part. We're going to work the puff stitch in the first chain 1 space. And this is how we're going to do that. We're going to yarn over, insert our work into the chain 1 space, and pull up a loop even with our work 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have all of these loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 9 loops. There should be 9 of them on there. Pull through all 9 loops on our hook, creating that puff. We're going to chain 1 to close it so they don't come undone. We want that puff to stay like that. Now we're going to actually chain 1. This chain that we just did, that closes that stitch. That's part of that stitch. Now we're going to chain 1. So we can go to our next chain 1 space over here and complete yet another puff. So let's work the second puff right here. Yarn over into the space, grabbing our yarn and pulling it back up and pulling it up even with our work. There's 1, 2, 3, and there's 4. So we have 9 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through all of the loops that are on our hook, creating that puff and closing it with a chain. That closes that puff. Moving on, we're going to chain 1. Let's move on to our next one. Let's put a puff stitch in here, yarn over, and you're going to do this 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook and close that puff with a chain. Chain 1 and move on. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the puff stitches all the way across to the end of the row, and I'll meet up with you there. I'm here at the end of row 3. I've got one more puff to do right here in this very last chain space. And we're just going to close that there. And we've got this half double crochet here. Remember when we chained and it counted as a half double crochet chain 1? This is a half double crochet right here. We need a half double crochet in this half double crochet. So we're just going to go ahead and put our hook through there and complete a half double crochet. That finishes off that row. So let's take a look at row 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 puffs. We have a half double crochet here at the end, and we have our chain here that counted as a half double crochet. This is a fun stitch. It's going to be a fun block. Let's move on to row 4. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now remember, our chain 3 counts as a half double crochet chain 1. According to our pattern, we want to go ahead and place a half double crochet in the next chain 1 space. Don't do it here. This already has a chain 1 space. We're going to go here in between our first 2 puffs. I'm going to place a half double crochet, chain 1. Going in between the next set of puffs here, a half double crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 1, a half double crochet in between the puffs, chain 1. Continue this all the way to the end of your row. We're here at the end of row 4. We've completed all of our half double crochet chain 1s. We're just going to place a half double crochet in the half double crochet here at the end of the row to finish off row 4. And we can start seeing the pattern come together. Let's move on to row 5. We're going to chain 2 and turn our work. We're going to half double crochet in each chain 1 space and in each half double crochet across. We'll end up with 25 stitches. So right here's a chain 1 space. This counts as 1. So here's 2. We're working into the stitch here, making sure you get the front loop and the back loop. 3. Working in the chain space, a half double crochet, 4. Working in the half double crochet itself, getting the front loop and the back loop, completing a half double crochet, there's 5. 6, 7, 8, 23, 24. And remember, our chain 3 counted as a half double crochet chain 1. So this is technically a half double crochet. We're going to go ahead and complete our last half double crochet of row 5 in that stitch for 25. And now you can see how this created this again. So we're just going to continue on. We're going to repeat now rows 2 through 5 until our block reaches approximately 7 inches square. I'm going to go ahead and repeat rows 2 through 5 until I get to where I think I'm at the approximate size that we need, and I'll meet up with you there. So I've completed 13 rows, and once I get my 2 rounds of edging on, I think this is going to stretch out to a really nice square for our block. I've compared it to a couple of other blocks. It's a little bit short and squishy, but once we put everything together and this stretches out a little bit with these puff stitches, it's going to be a nice block. So go ahead and complete round 1 of your edging, then round 2 of your edging, and finish off sewing your ends. Get yourself a tag so you can write on here what block this is. This is block 43, the puff stitch, and this is in color B. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me here in the craft room. Until I see you again for next week's block, the cluster braid. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.